another one of my inventions, of course, was, of course, the gyrocopter. Um, I said that the gyrocopter could fly and was a valid aircraft, and I wanted them pursued, and thought that they would actually be a good idea and a very cheap flyer at that. It's just like a helicopter, only it uses the what's it called. And a bunch of people, probably Nixon or whatever, maybe they thought it was, anyway, they were just trying to steal my money. So Germany actually, I think, actually it started out in Germany or someplace, or Sweden or whatever. They started messing around with the gyrocopter idea, of basically a drag propeller. I was like, it's just like a parachute kind of thing, only it's a blade, and of course it'll work. So I actually had to argue with quite a few people to actually get the gyrocopters into production. And I was like, we'll just start messing around with it. And I spent I was like green lighted the money. I was like, just start messing around with it. And I started paying the people, to produce them. And I don't know if I really actually made any money or will make any money off of them, but I mean, they're a cute little toy to play around with, and I said that they would work and that they could fly, and so I had people working on building them and perfecting them and producing them because they're cool little flyers, and it's a great way to fly around and cruise around and see the sights with a little bit of work, and they're fairly cheap to produce, and actually don't have a lot of the stresses that a normal helicopter uh, has. A normal helicopter, the is a lot more complicated and a lot more expensive to produce than just a cute little gyrocopter. Mostly, I just invent things and make things and have pay for things to be built. And of course, like the gyrocopter, just as I said it would be, they are valid and very good little aircraft, and actually fairly cheap to make. I think they only cost like $3,000 to actually build, or a couple $100 really, to actually produce a gyrocopter. Actually, almost less than a car, and and they're very good little craft to cruise around in and see the sights, or just as a hobby. So, anyway, one of my companies and one of my businesses, and going from Germany to America to all over the world. Yeah, I should be a fairly rich man, because, well, I don't know. I mean, it cost a lot to actually get them produced, and everyone was always like, war this, war that. It's like, no, it's just a cute little flyer, and I'm the person, I do air travel, and air travel really took off, and air freight, and also shipping and ships and stuff. So, canals, rivers, all that kind of stuff, making canals and rivers bigger, deeper. I've spent a lot of time and effort and money perfecting and going over and getting this planet just the way I wanted it, and it took a very long time to do. So thousands of years, really. And getting everyone schooled and getting everyone into a proper line of production, basically, which is what Germany and Russia and, well, Germany and England and Japan really did. Germany and Japan were the two big powerhouses that were like, to me, they said, my leader, my Fia, and with great respect, and Germany and Japan, and then even the Aussies, and also the what's called the the Irish, and it's just about production and work and everything else. Also producing ultralights, and and all these other crafts. I mean, technically, I made a lot of, basically, I am a world inventor and a very, very rich person, and also licensed other things for other people to produce, my inventions. So anyway, and a lot of money came from it, basically, and there were huge accounts, and basically just JFK and Nixon wanted access to those accounts because, was an incredibly rich person, and he basically tried to ambulance chase his way in there, you know, um, and whatever, you know. Anyway, I don't know. He was a small time person, and he will always be a small time person, even if he did do carpet bombing and war and destruction with JFK and a few others. So, anyway, Anyway, and it's also the yellers are yelling, how they abused the the court system, which Germany had, and everything else to try and eventually start bombing and killing people, and then try and lie about it afterwards. So, and it led to the bombing of Russia, Germany, Japan, China, all over the world, like little spot bombing. They were bombing and killing people for quite a few years. Try and get this thing going where they were in the White House and rich and successful when they were actually just murderers, rapists, and killers. So, anyway, and it's basically just the disgrace of the human race, pretty much, and led to other planets and other races, and I had to do something about it. So, and then they blame me for it because I'm the one that didn't back the rapists and killers and crazy people.